Have you ever noticed that there's a house that was listed, went pending, and then it went back on the market, and you think, what is wrong with that house? But I want to let you know today that there are a lot of reasons why that house is back on the market. It's not always what you think. Sometimes the buyer's finances fall apart. Sometimes the buyer changes their job and the bank didn't like that. Sometimes they make a decision like buying a car and they got a loan for the car and now they can't afford both the house and the car at the same time. Maybe they opened a new credit card and that affected their credit score negatively and they're denied their loan. It's possible that they had very specific contingencies that didn't work out. One example of that is their house being contingent on the current offer. So that would mean that the offer that they have accepted has to be released and back on the market because their house didn't sell. So it's not the seller's fault that that house had to go back on the market. It could be from an appraisal that came in and it did not equal what their offer was. So now there needs to be a negotiation and they couldn't agree. So the house went back on the market. If you recognize that a house goes back on the market for a lower price, sometimes that's the reason why. Maybe they had an inspection report come back and the buyer is very specific about the things that they want fixed, but the seller is not wanting to do the repairs or they don't want to pay for the specific things that the buyer wanted because they didn't think they were a very big deal. So they can release the contract and agree that the house is going back on the market. However, if you see a house that's on the market for a really long time or it goes back on the market, I don't want you to assume that something is wrong with the specific house, especially right now in this current market. I am feeling like this is a really strange market where people think that they're ready to buy, and as they get going, they end up backing out of buying houses without any real reason. I've been noticing that several times in the last few months. So if you're noticing that there's a house that you like, don't be afraid. Just go see it for yourself and make the decision after for yourself. Don't let any back on the market or days on market determine that for you.